Yes, people, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. This is episode number 24. We are your hosts, Jan and Malcolm. Bro, welcome back. First of all, you were missed last week,
Cheers, bro. Thank you.
but you came for the right time because last weekend, bro, we had a madness. How
Yeah,
are you?
I'm alright. I'm alright, bro. I can be better. But overall, not too bad. Pretty emotional week coming up in terms of my workplace. But other than that, I guess pretty solid. How are you, bro? You good?
Not 100% to be honest. A little bit under the weather this week. During this weekend and even today as well. Probably, I think I'm in the early stages of the common cold at the moment. So need to take care of myself during this time. I mean, it's pretty normal during this period that
Sorry.
the common cold catches up with a lot of people. I think I'm probably I'm probably the latest victim, but we're gonna soldier through it as per usual, guys. Before we begin, make sure to follow us on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, especially if this is your first time listening to our podcast, guys. We really, really appreciate by giving us a follow on our socials. Spotify listeners, you know the drill. Hit us up with a rating and let us know your thoughts on each poll we publish for every single episode found in the bio description.
Yeet.
And with that, bro, let's get straight into it. We have Interlagos to talk about. Now, bro, this
Love
track
this
needs,
track. I
yeah,
love it.
this
I
track
love
needs
it.
no introduction, man. I mean,
Honest
iconic.
opinion. Honest opinion. Honest opinion. They need to make this track the last race of the season again.
Yeah, I agree. To be honest, now obviously the reason why it why it has taken place this weekend, guys, because I was expecting that after Austin and after Mexico we have Las Vegas, but obviously right now in the US we are only 2 days away from the general election, so it is understandable that Las Vegas has to take place afterwards because right now in
Yeah.
the US it's election fever. And we're just 2 days away from finding out who will be the next president of the United States. So Las Vegas is going to be the next race after Interlagos. But going back to Interlagos, bro, yes, I 100% agree with you. This should be the final race of the season. This track has decided multiple world championship titles in the past. The one I can
I'm probably again this weekend, bro.
Yeah, probably again this weekend, bro. But before we get into that, the championship that I can think of is 2008.
Yeah.
Hamilton overtaking Timo Glock at the
Yeah.
last turn, at the last lap, and at the last race of the 2008 season to Hamilton take home his first world title. That's like the fondest memory I have of the circuit. Since obviously being a Mclaren fan myself. But yes, bro. Speaking of this year's world title, this this last weekend, our world title take a toll on its head basically because it's drama has unfolded throughout this entire weekend pretty much, bro. From the sprint
Exactly.
qualifying all the way to the race, and a large part of that as to why is the weather.
Yeah.
It was pissing down with rain throughout the entire weekend, pretty much with the exception of the sprint qualifying and the race, and this caused a lot of disruptions. I mean, not just in the race, but also in qualifying in general. But obviously, guys, before we get into the usual rundown, we're going to start with the news of the track, which we only have. It's only a rumor, but it's a pretty strong and an interesting rumor. Now, obviously, guys, take this news with a pinch of salt. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but it's being reported that the same reporter who broke the news that Franco Colapinto um, re- basically replaced Logan Sargent for the second Williams seat for this year. He has also reported that Franco Colapinto has signed a contract with Red Bull to replace Sergio Perez. Now, obviously,
What?
yes, it's crazy.
Yo!
Not confirmed yet, guys,
What?
but that could be insane
What?
stuff, basically.
Where did you see this?
I found out on X, to be honest, but that's why
Oh,
I'm not
Twitter.
gonna on
Um,
Twitter. Yes, yes.
Jesus God, I
Now,
was like,
now
actually,
it's now
what
it's called
about?
X. No, no, no. It's basically X. So no,
I always forget
obviously,
it's X.
No, obviously not confirmed yet, guys. But if
Yo.
this turns out to be true, um, this would be a meteoric rise for Franco Colapinto. And
Yo,
honestly, based on
bro.
his last performances, pretty well deserved, to be honest, bro. What do you think?
Wait, but listen. First of all, you caught me off guard with this. I'll be
No, 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 no,
honest.
no. Even I was
You
listen.
caught me off guard.
Even I was surprised. Even I was surprised when I read the news, basically. But
He deserves a spot. Colapinto absolutely 100% deserves a spot. And if it's for that Red Bull seat along with Verstappen, bro, I would like to give hats off to Red Bull, yeah. If it happens, I would
yeah,
absolutely love it. To
it,
me, Colapinto has been better than Perez in a fucking Williams. Sorry for swearing.
no, no, no worries.
So really left field, very left field. I don't think anybody expected it, but if so, man, I would love it. I would absolutely love it.
Honestly,
And I think,
yeah,
but listen, if so, how would someone like Tsunoda take it, bro?
yeah. That bears the question as well. But honestly, you talk about Colapinto being better than Sergio Perez, bro. I think most of the drivers are performing Sergio Perez at the moment, so it's not
That
just
is
like a
true.
Colapinto.
That is true. But I'm of course comparing as
Yeah,
Colapinto
yeah,
is
yeah.
in a
Fair enough.
Williams
Yeah,
and Red
that
Bull isn't a goddamn Red Bull.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, listen. I think I'm finding it very very strange that they didn't go for someone like Yuki Tsunoda, basically. But I think
He is literally in their
yeah,
program, bro. He's right there.
or Liam Lawson, or Liam Lawson, or
Look,
Liam Lawson, basically. So
I'll get Liam Lawson benefit of the doubt. He just came
yeah,
back. But Yuki Tsunoda is in your program, bro. He's literally right there.
maybe they haven't seen the best of him yet in that racing was basically. Let's keep in mind.
If I'm Yuki, I would be so pissed.
Yeah, I would. Same
So
here.
pissed. Like, bro, what more do you want me to do? I'm not saying Colapinto doesn't deserve it. We're not gonna do what happened in the Ballon d'Or with Rodri and Vinicius. None of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
None of that.
Let's not turn pages on that subject. Yeah, again.
None of that. But if I'm Yuki Tsunoda, okay, Colapinto deserves it. If so, fully. But if I'm Yuki Tsunoda, I'm going there like, yo, what more do you want me to do, man? I calmed down. I got better. I have more pace. I just got P3 in quali in a
Yeah.
V car, bro. What the fuck you want me to do even more?
Maybe they want to see Maybe they want to see some podium finishes for Yuki, which is very, very difficult, mind you, with that racing
That
was.
that would be
So
so unrealistic. That would be so
yeah, it would
BS,
be.
bro.
Yeah, yeah, very, very.
That would
Yeah,
be
it
so
would be.
BS. Very happy. I hope it's true. I hope it's true that Colapinto gets the seat. But if I'm Yuki Tsunoda, boy. Mm-mm-mm.
He would have a one-to-one meeting with Helmut Marko, definitely.
Yeah, he'll karate chop that dude.
At Christian
He'll set,
Horner
he'll set
specifically.
up karate chop Helmut Marko in the neck.
Yeah, yeah, he
Not to
would.
make, I don't
So
want to make it racist, but
no, 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 absolutely.
he'll
Let's
kung
keep it.
fu his ass,
Let's
bro.
let's let's keep it squeaky clean here. Yeah. Uh,
He'll kung fu his ass, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Jet.
listen, I would be. Listen, I'd understand Yuki's emotions if that was the case because I think Red Bull at this point they just don't want to make another mistake. They've already made a mistake with keeping with keeping Sergio Perez to the end of the season. So I think there's an element of
Or
rushing
maybe, or
themselves too
maybe, or
much.
maybe they don't want to promote Yuki because they fear it might happen. It might be the same result as what happened with Gasly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is an element of rushing
So that's why they're looking
of rushing themselves.
outside.
Yes. Yeah.
So
For
that's why
now,
they're probably looking outside, bro.
yeah, listen, for now, Perez is gonna stay on as a second driver next season, but obviously anything can happen. I mean, we're speaking about Red Bull here. Red Bull are known to make ruthless decisions in a flash. We've seen that in the past.
Yeah.
However, I would obviously support this decision of choosing Franco Colapinto as a second driver. He's still very young. He has loads of potential to show
He's
that.
already a fan favorite, man.
He's already a fan favorite. I mean, we've seen it last weekend in Brazil. Fair enough, Argentina is neighbors to Brazil, so that might have been
But
the
Brazil
main
and
reason
Argentina
why.
are rivals.
But they're neighbor countries, so
They're still rivals.
Yeah, they're rivals, fair enough, but they're neighbors, bro.
They're still
Um,
rivals, though.
yeah,
Man United and Man City are neighbors, but they're rivals.
yeah, but this is Formula One, not this is a
I
Formula
mean,
One and not
bro,
football though. But anyways,
watch what they call the Copa America.
the
Watch the
Copa
Copa
America, yeah,
America. Watch the Copa America
yeah,
then, okay?
I'll do that. I'll do that after this recording. So no, but yeah, just to wrap up, on Franco Colapinto to Red Bull as a potential as a obviously still a rumor, not confirmed yet. I think we're gonna find out more about this at the end of the season,
Juicy,
definitely.
juicy, very
Obviously,
juicy.
still questions need to be asked of who's gonna take that second Sauber seat. So it might be him or it might be Valtteri Bottas. I'm not seeing Zhou Guan Yu taking that seat as well. But yeah, an interesting rumor, bro.
Juicy, bro,
It's
juicy.
a very juicy and interesting rumor about this. So, all right, let's get into the rundown, bro. Obviously, we've already discussed our thoughts on Interlagos, bro. It's an iconic circuit for many reasons. The atmosphere,
Love it.
the high
Nothing
speed
wrong.
circuit
Nothing
on
wrong
it,
with it.
basically. No,
Nothing
there's
wrong
nothing.
with it. Nothing wrong.
I think it should be it should be in the
Forever.
same argument for as Monza and Monaco for me. Interlagos, it's an
Absolutely.
iconic track.
Interlagos has to stay on the calendar forever.
Yeah,
No debate.
absolutely.
No debate.
Now, obviously, bro, the talk of this weekend, obviously Ferrari, fresh from another highly successful Grand Prix in Mexico. I mean, they got
Yay.
a 1-2 in Austin,
Yay.
a first and third in Mexico. Carlos Sainz obviously returning the favor from Leclerc from his win in Austin. And obviously the questions from their side was where they're gonna do it, where they're gonna be doing it three in a row, to reduce the gap for the constructors standings. Obviously, questions had to be asked on Max Verstappen and Lando Norris about the drivers' championship as well, because obviously the pressure was on both drivers to see if they were gonna
But
increase their lead.
listen. Thanks to their shenanigans, we are benefiting from it.
Yeah, definitely. At least not seeing a one-sided championship this
At least,
season
thank God. By the way, thank God,
compared to last season.
because we expected much worse in the
Yeah,
beginning
that
of
was
the
our
season.
fear. That was our fear, pretty much, and with
We
every fan
expected it.
basically.
We expected it. We even said it on episode 1, 2. I forgot, but we did say it that we're expecting the same as last season. But thankfully, it
Yeah,
wasn't the case at all.
yeah, and thank God for that, basically. So obviously, guys, we're gonna Interlagos had a sprint race, so we're gonna be starting with the sprint qualifying the race, and then we're gonna push, and then we're gonna work our way to qualify at the race. But bro, this is gonna be a little bit different from the usual standard because it was such a dramatic weekend in general.
Jesus Christ, bro.
We had a lot
It,
to talk about. The
bro,
weather,
bro, it's like watching Netflix, dude.
yeah, I mean,
But I
even
loved
more.
it though. It was nice.
Listen, more dramatic than Drive to Survive, even though it
Definitely,
was a chore to get through for large parts of the weekend, specifically
definitely.
qualifying. But this was a dramatic weekend in general. Now, obviously, the drama started. It obviously started straight away, but the real drama happened in qualifying onwards. But we're gonna start
All
with
the
the
drama was on Sunday, a Sunday special.
yeah, definitely. But we're gonna start obviously with the sprint qualifying. For those who got knocked out in Q1, no surprises. With regards to got knocked out in Q1, Zhou Guan Yu, the two Aston Martins, pretty
I was a bit,
maybe
I,
are
I,
the-
I
are
was a bit surprised with Alonso. I can't lie. He got knocked out by Colapinto.
yeah, got knocked out by Colapinto for that one. Yeah, which is something you don't expect with Fernando Alonso.
I
But
really
right
don't, bro.
now,
Bro, no.
yeah, but listen, right now
Last
Aston
two
Martin
races,
just
just from his 400 race, Alonso, I don't know what's happened to him, bro.
I think he's in upward on form at the moment. I think every driver experiences this type of form. I think
Listen.
Alonso is in one of them.
I'm not denying his talent, bro. I mean,
No, no, absolutely.
if I be denying his talent, I shouldn't be allowed to watch F1 ever again.
No, absolutely. No, obviously, a bit disappointing for Alonso to get knocked out straight at in Q1. Even his teammate Lance Stroll did even worse in 19th, but that was obviously not the lowest point of Lance Stroll because in the race he did an even bigger blunder for that. But we're going to get to later on in the race. Um, Even Yuki Tsunoda getting finding himself in 18th is disappointing as well.
Yeah,
Yuki has always been consistently in that Q2 and towards the end of the top 10 phase for him. So a little bit disappointing for him to find himself in 18th. And Esteban Ocon in 17th, probably his lowest point of the entire weekend, because his race specifically, and even qualifying, was the complete opposite for him. So 17th for Esteban Ocon, Alonso in 16th, as we mentioned previously. In Q2, we had two shocks. One of them pretty expected because of his poor run of form, and the second one from probably a very well established driver. But we're gonna start in 15th with Valtteri Bottas. Good effort for him to push himself into Q2. But again, I think with that Sauber is the best he could have managed with the car he has, Valtteri Bottas at the moment. Um, Franco Colapinto in 14th. Listen, as you said, Malcolm, he knocked out Alonso in Q1, so
yeah,
that is that is an achievement on its own. But yeah, with the Williams, I think he did the best he could with that Williams in 14th. A bit of a stink, a bit of a bit of a disappointing moment for him because of how well he has been driving so far in
definitely.
his time in the sport so far. But yeah, 14th, a little bit underwhelming for him. Uh, well, Perez 13th again, another
Perez, I
underwhelming
believe
showing for
Perez,
him.
it was underwhelming, but I believe it was a mistake from
Yeah,
his pit crew not releasing him earlier and didn't have time to do one last run in Q2.
yeah, I think it
Was
was
it
him.
was it in that, or was it in the quali?
No, no, that was in qualifying where he said he had 45 seconds left to do a lap time. No, that's in qualifying. But
Yeah, all right.
no, no, no worries, man. Yeah, 13th, bro, for Perez again. Just he's continuing his poor run of form,
I,
isn't
I
it?
I don't know, man. Like, what's up with him? I don't know how they got rid of someone like Ricardo, but they
Hmm.
didn't. But they kept Perez. I don't know how they got rid of someone like Albon, but they got rid of Perez. Oh no, sorry, they got rid of someone Albon, but they didn't get rid of Perez.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said earlier, bro. For me, they made up. That for me was a blunder from Helmut
Yeah,
Marko and Co to keep him until the end of the season. He's just not improving.
listen, bro, that free tequila supply working like a charm.
Yeah, and his weekend got even worse from there. I mean, that wasn't even his lowest point in that regard. Um, Nico Hülkenberg in 12th with the Haas again. Not bad for the car itself, but again, considering their last two Grand Prix performances, both in the qualifying and in the race, a little bit of a setback for them to be starting in 12th. An even bigger setback, bro, is Hamilton in 11th, and Hamilton had a difficult weekend, to be honest.
Listen, that car was undrivable for him.
It
All
was
weekend
bouncing.
long, he
It
had
was
problems.
bouncing. It was bouncing
All
everywhere,
weekend long.
bro.
But what baffles me is Russell had a workaround with it, but Hamilton couldn't. Odd.
And listen, I mean, I've always taken the piss with Hamilton, basically, being a diva and a drama queen, basically, on complaining about the car. But listen, his complaints were
Were
and were,
justified this
were,
weekend.
were justifiable this
They
weekend
were justified this
because,
weekend, bro, because that car, he really struggled. He really, really struggled.
yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely,
for Hamilton to do bad at a track like Interlagos, unheard of.
yeah, very,
Unheard of.
very, very unheard of, actually. And even worse for him because Oliver Behrman, who replaced Magnussen for this weekend, because Magnussen, sending our best wishes to him because he ended up in
Yeah, good
hospital,
wishes to
and
him.
he was unable. Obviously, Magnussen ended up in hospital this weekend, so was unable to race. So
Get well soon
from
to
behalf of this
Magnussen.
podcast, we send him our best wishes from there. But yeah, Oliver Behrman, he's showing his talent, man. Q3, in 10th place with the Haas, basically swapping Hulkenberg's role because normally Hulkenberg ends up in Q3 for the most part and not Magnussen. So yeah, Oliver Behrman, this kid has talent, bro, and I think
Yeah.
he's gonna show his talent even more next
Listen,
season with,
listen,
with, with
listen.
that 10th place.
He showcased his talent in Jeddah. but he replaced Sainz.
Yeah,
So we're not really surprised with this. The rookies that came to this year have really turned up, bro.
yeah, definitely.
They've turned up. Lawson. I mean, Lawson isn't really a rookie, but Colapinto,
He's still a
Behrman.
rookie though. He's still a rookie though.
All
Let's
right,
face it.
like Lawson, Colapinto, Behrman, they pulled up, bro. For me, Colapinto's
Mhm.
the best of the bunch,
Yeah,
but all of them should be really proud of themselves.
definitely, definitely. And I
They
think
pulled up. They
this
pulled up.
obviously next year we have Antonelli as well coming in, so we're gonna
Yeah, that's
we
gonna
have
be a
to.
one to watch, bro.
That's gonna be. We'll have to wait and see on
Yeah.
how he would be performing in the sport next season
Is he
because
is he gonna
listen,
become is he gonna become the Valentino Rossi of Formula One or just another Mazepin?
those are the words from Toto Wolff as well. He's calling him the Valentino Rossi of Formula One
But he
basically.
really said that. He really said that. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know.
he said that. He said that, bro. He said that.
Shout out
Listen,
Toto.
and listen, Toto is wetting himself for Kimi
No,
Antonelli.
no.
Pause. By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah, yeah. No, he is. Listen, I think he has posters of Antonelli.
yeah. So listen, I'm not seeing the hype on this kid, but obviously, if Toto Wolff is absolutely praising this guy to
If
death,
if putting all your
he better be good, bro.
if putting all your eggs in one basket was a person,
Yeah,
that's practically it.
definitely. Um, Anyways, back to in for the sprint qualifying. Oliver Behrman in 10th, a fantastic effort for him to get himself into the top 10 in another stint for another
Couldn't do a lap
in
time
yet
though. His lap time
another
was deleted.
stint for them. Yes, that time was deleted because of I think he crashed, I believe, because he got a
Track
DNF.
limits. Track limits.
I think the track limits. Yeah, the track limits.
Track
Absolutely,
limits though, bro.
track
Track
limits. Yeah.
limits. Track limits.
Yeah, track limits. I agree. Alex Albin in ninth again. We've seen Albin putting himself a lot on making himself a lot of effort in qualifying, and this was another case for him. P9 in that Williams a decent result for him. Again, not really surprised because he has shown in the past that he can push himself into those Q3 spots. And once again, that proved to be the case. So a great result for him in ninth. Even more impressive, bro, is Liam Lawson in eighth.
Again,
Um,
one of the rookies.
yeah, another rookie. And so far, the decision to remove Ricardo and to replace him with Liam Lawson is proven to be a fruitful one, bro, because he has delivered so far.
Something which was a long time coming. Something
Should have
which
been
should have
start the
happened last
season.
season. Last season, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
So
I agree. Pierre Gasly in 7th, even more impressive than Alex Albin and Behrman and
but
Liam Lawson, bro, in 7th.
Gasly's and his team's weekend is only going to get better.
Yeah, definitely.
This is nothing. This is nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, 7th place in the Alpine is a fantastic result for them and a fantastic spot for them to start the sprint race, basically. And the top six, bro, not really that surprising because it's the usual suspects basically. George Russell in sixth, Carlos Sainz in fifth, Max Verstappen in
Science, bro.
yeah, sorry,
Here's a fun fact about science. In all the sprint races this season,
yeah.
Science has started P5.
Oh, fun fact about that,
That's a fun fact, by the way, which is crazy to think
bro.
about. But
Bro loves his fifth. Yeah,
he, in all the sprint races this season, he
yeah.
started P5.
I mean, listen, bro loves his fifth spots basically.
That's crazy. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
is.
what you mean by that, but I'll take it.
He loves his fifth. He loves his fifth place spots basically in the sprint qualifying and the races. I mean, obviously compared to last week, a bit disappointing because he
Yeah,
obviously won the race. He obviously got pole position and won the race.
yeah, but
Not pole position.
We
Yeah.
couldn't match McLaren. Ferrari couldn't match McLaren's pace this weekend.
No,
Couldn't
absolutely.
match.
Um, Verstappen in fourth, Leclerc in third. Now for Verstappen again, fourth place. For him, it's a bit of a stink in the tail for him to start
But again,
outside the top three places.
another another driver that his weekend is only going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Because for most of the weekend, Verstappen just didn't seem at it until obviously the eventual race, which we're gonna
Yeah.
get to very later on. Bro, Leclerc in third. What do you think about that? I think it's a fantastic effort for him. Yeah,
It's the best he could do. I mean,
yeah,
we could never Ferrari could never match McLaren's pace this weekend. We
yeah,
could never match it, and I think he did the best he could, bro, in difficult conditions as well. So him at least attempting to split the two McLarens and then getting bested again by Piastri, just to
yeah,
go from third to first. Was it
yeah. Absolutely.
third to
Yeah.
first? He did the best he could. I'm not complaining by that. No, not at all.
No, 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 no. I think it's a great spot for Ferrari to start the sprint race, and obviously, by process of elimination, the two McLarens taking the top two spots now. Um, McLaren started the weekend on top because even on practice, it looked like it was going to be the quickest car on the grid, and they showed it once again in sprint qualifying in first and second. Now eventually Lando Norris was on provisional pole, but Oscar Piastri snatched that pole position at the very last second, and
Yeah, by about 29 thousandths of a second or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, for the both the for the driver's title, it would have been best if it was the other way around. That Lando would start the race in first, but and Oscar in second. But listen, I'm not complaining. I think it was first and second was a perfect occasion for us to start the sprint race, and we were the quickest car of the bunch, bro. Anything to add on this before we get into the
Nothing
sprint
more
race?
really, bro. Nothing more yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for McLaren, a fantastic performance for them once again to start another sprint to start the sprint race as the best two cars on the grid, basically. Now, bro, the sprint race we don't really have a lot of things to say. But if we look at the start, the two McLarens started the
They
race.
went away well.
They went away well. Pretty strange for Lando Norris because Lando has had a lot of
Leclerc
poor
made
starts this season.
Leclerc made a move on Verstappen. No,
No,
because
Verstappen
Verstappen
was,
tried to move on
yeah,
Leclerc,
yeah,
but Leclerc was having none of it, and he was still behind him. And then eventually Verstappen overtook Leclerc,
yeah,
only just to
absolutely.
lose that place back in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. But overall, bro, pretty clean start, and we've had a fair share of clean starts this season. Really nothing else to add. Nothing else to add on the
Perez did a
start.
nice move on one of the on the V carbs in
Yeah,
turn one. I forgot which lap it was, but it was a pretty nice move from way back.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
give him that.
But
I give him that. I really like that move.
no, obviously, McLaren had a bit of pressure, bro, because I think straight after the first lap, um, they were given obviously team orders that for Piastri to give the place back to Lando Norris, but that persisted all the way to the end. So as you said before, Sergio Perez did an overtake on one of the Hasses on lap 9 to get himself into the top 10 places. The two Hasses, there was some action going on between those two drivers, but overall, bro, the sprint race
I'm
not
and I'm gonna be honest here.
yeah, yeah,
To me, they bottled Piastri's win.
yeah,
I can understand that they want maximum points for Norris because they want him to fight for the championship. I get it, but Piastri should have won that sprint race. They practically did the same thing in one of the races this season. They did the same again
yeah,
to Piastri. I forgot which race it was. Pardon me, sorry, but
yeah.
they did the same to him as well. They did the same again, and Piastri should have won this race, man.
That
They
was
did Piastri dirty, in my
the
opinion.
that was the Hungarian Grand Prix, if
And
I'm
for
not
what?
mistaken.
And
I
like,
think,
bro, and like, bro, for what? For just two measly points? No, actually, for 1 point extra. All right, yes, it could prove. It could prove
yeah, yeah,
what you want to call it. Like, it could prove massively.
mhm,
Like, it could be in your
yeah,
favor,
absolutely.
definitely. But for just one measly point, bro, come on now.
But listen, I think Oscar was a team player rather than
No, he was,
I think
credit
it
to
was a
him,
rather team player. Yeah, absolutely.
and credit to him. But in my opinion, they ruined his win.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I would have listen if this was earlier on in the season, I wouldn't have swapped places because PSG would have held on to win the race. But honestly, I don't disagree with you on this, but I kind of get the point as to why they swapped places because obviously if Lando really wants to fight himself for driver's title, I think it would have been wise for both drivers to swap places. But at the same time, I have to feel for Oscar Piastri because this is the second time that he couldn't get a race win because of team orders basically, and I really feel for him as well.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but at least I co- I fair play to him for being a team player and for being a team player basically because
No, credit to him. Credit to
credit
him.
to him because at least there weren't tempers weren't boiling down at least between the two drivers at least. So
Not like back in
um
Hungary, or was it? Pardon me.
in Hungary, yeah, in Hungary it was far worse, but at least with this at least with this one, Piastri at least was a team player for this, so at least I applaud him for that. Obviously, Lando who ended up winning the sprint race, a 1-2 finish for us, maximum points for the sprint race. And that was the perfect way for our weekend to get going, basically. Now, before that happened, bro, Verstappen did the overtake on Leclerc, did the overtake on Leclerc at around lap 20,
Yeah,
but then the positions were swapped back moments later. We did see one retirement with Nico Hulkenberg.
yeah.
There was a collision between him and Liam Lawson, if I'm not mistaken,
I believe so. Yeah.
towards the latter stages. But other than that, bro, not really much to talk about with the sprint race. It wasn't like the highlight moment of the weekend. But yeah, for McLaren, that was the perfect way for us to start our weekend,
That was
um,
perfect.
especially our since it's looking really spicy at the constructor standings between us, Red Bull, and Ferrari. So again, as I mentioned, was the perfect way for us to get maximum points for the sprint race. Leclerc finished third, Verstappen in fourth, Carlos Sainz in fifth. So at least two Ferraris getting themselves into the top five places. George Russell in sixth, Pierre Gasly remained in seventh, and Sergio Perez finished in eighth, getting the final point. Now, for Sergio Perez, fair play to him actually, because at least he pushed himself up to those top 10 places, albeit for just 1 point.
Yeah.
But this was a good effort for Perez. At least he got a point for the team. Bro, anything to add
Nothing more
regarding
really.
this
Nothing
race?
more.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about big losers, I mean Hamilton obviously struggled throughout the sprint race. He couldn't get himself past.
We'll get to the winners and losers
Yeah,
at the end, bro. We'll
yeah,
get to
yeah,
that at the
absolutely,
end.
absolutely. But yeah, that pretty much is the sprint race. A great result for McLaren, but obviously the meat was obviously the qualifying and the race.
That was just a
And
teaser.
speaking of the qualifying the race, now, bro, we said early on in this episode that drama unfolded, and the
It was
weather
all on Sunday.
the weather was the culprit, bro, because the entire weekend it was forecast that it was going to rain, and the rain hit qualifying and the race big time, especially in qualifying. Now, bro, qualifying was scheduled to take place on Saturday at around
As
between
per
four
usual.
between as the usual time, 4 to 5 p.m. But it was pissing down with rain so much that qualifying was delayed for a number of hours, but then they took the decision for qualifying to take place early on Sunday at very early morning, at around 7:30, between 7:30 to 8:30 in local time in Brazil. So we've had a very rare occasion, bro, that the qualifying and the race were held at the same day. So that's
It wasn't the first
obviously
time though. It wasn't the first time.
no. The season, I
The
believe
season, the
so.
first time, yes. The
Yeah,
season, yes. But overall,
yes.
it wasn't the first time.
Yeah, no. Overall, no, absolutely it's not the first time. But this obviously, bro, this put every single team under pressure, bro. Because if your car gets wrecked in qualifying, you're basically fucked for the race,
Yeah, yeah.
basically.
Practically.
And that happened for a lot of drivers, bro. Because qualifying, it was a chore to get through, man. I mean, not
Absolutely.
only not
Five,
only
about what? 5 red flags?
yeah, five red flags as well, because it was pissing down with rain so heavily that we saw a shit ton of red flags in both in Q1, Q2, and even in Q3 as well, bro. I mean, I think I think it was 2 hours, bro. I think qualifying lasted. I think
Something like that. Something like
something
that.
like that in something like that in 2 hours, bro. So um obviously we're gonna mention who got knocked out in Q1 and Q2 and Q2 so forth, but there was we had so many disruptions throughout qualifying, bro, that we just basically we have to talk about what who about who crashed and who got knocked out in the first part of qualifying. So if we look at Q1, um, turns 1 and 3
Were the most.
proved prove to be the most problematic turns of the entire track, bro. Because a lot of drivers span around this turn. A lot of drivers went off track. A lot of drivers find themselves into the barriers. Basically, the first one was Franco Colapinto. Towards around 8 minutes before Q1 ended, that basically resulted in the first red flag, basically.
Yeah, the
And
Colapinto one. Yeah.
yeah, Franco Colapinto one, basically. Yeah, so
Listen. But listen, this is what I want to say. Yeah.
yeah,
We've seen 5 red flags. Thank God no one was hurt.
yeah,
But I think that this shows that the car that they've got, that the FIA got with the regulations and such, proves that it's not good for these type of conditions, as well as the
yeah,
tires.
yeah,
Like, why is there wet with a compound of tires, but they barely get used? And when it's time to use them, they don't even try and race with them. I get it, it's dangerous. I get
yeah,
it. But why is it there? Then why is
yeah.
it there?
Listen, even with the wets, bro, the drivers were struggling out there.
Yeah.
The conditions were absolutely terrible. And even despite all drivers putting themselves onto wet tires, it wasn't safe. I mean, if you look at just looking at the cockpits on the onboard cockpit views of several drivers, bro, you
Yeah.
knew it was dangerous to drive out there. So and basically the race was the qualifying session was red flagged for a couple of minutes basically, but then when we finally got going, basically with 8 minutes to go, there were some shocks along the car, but specifically with Lando Norris. Lando was playing with fire throughout Q1. Basically,
Yeah.
find himself in he found himself in 13th in between 13th to 15th place, but Norris escaped by the skin of his teeth. Basically,
Yeah.
he managed to get himself into Q1. One driver that wasn't so lucky was Lewis Hamilton, bro. And
Yeah,
his
bro, he got
miserable
knocked
weekend
out, man.
continued pretty much. Knocked out in Q1. Yeah, he ended up in 16th. And again, we're talking about his complaints being justifiable, bro. Once again, he was complaining about the car. The car was undrivable, not because of the conditions, but even just the Mercedes car in general in itself. It was that Mercedes car was a shit show to drive throughout this weekend. Basically, what do you
But it
think?
was Hamilton's. Russell seemed to have coped pretty well.
Yeah,
So it was Hamilton's car that was the problem, oddly enough.
but at least, but he wasn't putting the blame on him. He was putting the blame on the team. I think he needs to shoulder some responsibility on that because he was absolutely terrible.
listen. He even said it himself. He can't wait for the season to end.
Yeah,
That's practically giving Mercedes both fingers.
yeah,
Practically.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. But
he
yeah,
can't wait to red. He can't wait to wear red next season. He cannot wait.
we'll wait and see how that movie's gonna turn out, though.
Yeah, a
Absolutely.
lot. Looking forward to it though, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Hamilton, the big shock, getting knocked out of Q1. Zhou Guanyu, in 20th, again, no surprises with the Sauber. Um, Disappointing though, bro, is the Haas because both Haas's got knocked out of Q1. Oliver Berman in 17th and Nico Hulkenberg in 19th. Considering their recent run of form, bro, getting both drivers knocked out of Q1, disappointing for Haas.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
the weather didn't help them either. So
Yeah, a lot of the drivers, a lot of shocks that these happen is because of the weather conditions. Like
yeah,
you expect the unexpected. There's a surprise factor when the rain comes,
yeah,
and
definitely.
we've seen a lot of that this weekend. So
Yeah, the weather has absolutely affected the entire Grand Prix weekend basically, and qualifying proved to be that one big surprises with regards to who got out of Q1 with Hamilton and two Hasses. And the same thing happened with Q2, bro. Around 5 minutes before the end of the qualifying session, Carlos Sainz ended up on the wall in
yeah,
straight
and he was
after.
going so slow, bro. He was going so slow, and it still gave.
Yeah,
It still gave.
he was a bit unlucky as well with it.
Norris almost had a moment as well, I believe, in Q2. No,
Yeah, absolutely, but he didn't.
yeah, he did crash, of course. He had the
No,
same
no,
moment
obviously didn't
almost.
crash, but it showed, bro, how awful these weather conditions were. Because obviously, Carlos Sainz ended up in the barriers. The session was red flagged once again. Another 15 to 20 minute delay on that. But even after qualifying restarted again, bro, the conditions were even worse
Yeah,
because around a minute around a minute and 35 seconds to go after the second qualifying session,
yeah,
around 45 seconds before qualifying ended, the session was red flagged once again. Now the two Red Bulls were on a flying lap, and their lap time was obviously deleted because of the red flag. So as a result, both Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez got knocked out from Q2, and obviously for Max, um, was understandably pissed off with that because he was on a flying lap and he was surely gonna get himself into Q3. With Sergio Perez, I don't think he was gonna make it to Q3, but
yeah.
obviously that was the big shock. Now with his main rival Lando Norris, he was actually the fastest car on the grid, so he ended up getting himself into Q3. But for Red Bull, bro, very disappointing for them just to start the race at the
And even
outside the
listen,
top 10
Verstappen might have finished 12th, but he took a 5 place grid penalty. No,
as well. Yes, because
he
obviously
took a
of
5 place grid penalty,
because
which
of
makes
what
things even
happened.
worse for him.
So he started the race from 17th. Very see, he had a lot of work to do for the race, but obviously, he was unfortunate because of the weather conditions and because of the red flag. So obviously, if that didn't happen, he would have easily made himself got himself into Q3. So yeah, that's Verstappen and Perez out in 12th and 12th and 13th. Obviously, Carlos Sainz ended up on the barrier, so he had to start the race in 14th because of that. Pierre Gasly also only managed 15th with the Alpine. Um, and that resulted in Valtteri Bottas getting an 11. Now, obviously, luck was on his side because of the weather conditions and because of the other
Oh,
drivers behind him.
if only he got into Q3, bro, Bottas. If only.
Yeah, with Q3 would have been absolutely outstanding for
Oh
him.
my god,
But
that would have been a win for Quick Sauber all season long.
yeah, absolutely.
Just that.
Um, Even Lance Stroll, bro, ended up spinning
Yeah,
during
both
the red
Aston
flag as
Martins
well.
actually. Both Aston Martins, along with both
Yeah,
Williamses. Both of them
yeah,
crashed.
definitely. So yeah, that showed
So
how awful
so
these
practically,
conditions
so
were,
listen,
bro.
there were 5 red flags, yeah. Two
Yeah,
Williams, two Aston Martin, and the other one I forgot. Was it? Or was it because of
Alex
the rain?
Albin, Alex
Alexa,
Albin, I
no,
think.
no, two Williams,
Yeah,
Albon and Colapinto, Stroll
Science.
and Alonso and Sainz.
Yeah, and Science
Sainz, bro, I forgot about Sainz. Yeah,
movie. So yeah, obviously Lance Stroll.
and we just said it as well.
Yeah, obviously Lance Stroll ended up crashing during that red flag in Q2, but then even Q3, you said it right now, bro. Alonso ended up in the barriers as well, and that resulted in yet another red flag, bro. And at this point, I was exhausted, man, because we they the red flags and the weather disrupted qualifying so badly that I just wanted qualifying to end, bro, because
Yeah,
it was getting
I
really
was
really
like, bro, I was
frustrating.
like, bro, I was like, bro, we were getting all these red flags, and they're supposed to go racing in this? Nah,
in
bro,
in, 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 in less than a few hours, by the way, because
nah.
let's keep in mind qualifying took place on the same day as the race as well, just a few
Because
hours
because
before the
because
race.
because ju- because just imagine, yeah, these guys are gonna go racing in this. They're out here doing single flying laps and they're crashing 5 red flags. Nah, bro, this is not safe.
Regardless of how many
That's why I said,
regardless of the wet tires they were on in the intermediates as well.
yeah, but the wet
Yeah,
compound tires, the blue mark tires, they're worthless. They're absolutely
yeah.
worthless.
The intermediates
Intermediates,
proved
okay.
to be unsafe.
Intermediates are good
Yeah,
when the track is just wet. If it's not
yeah,
raining, okay. If it's
absolutely.
raining, yeah, fucked.
Yeah,
They're worthless as well.
yeah, absolutely.
Both
Now,
compounds, bro. Both
both
compounds,
compounds. Yeah, definitely.
practically.
Obviously, not Alonso caused another red flag, and then we had yet another red flag with 3 minutes to go when Alex Albon crashed into turn one, and this was the worst of the bunch, bro, because
Yeah.
this was not a nice accident to witness at all, and he ended up crashing both the rear and the front wing of the car, and that resulted not only because Alex Albon was in second place
Yeah.
when he crashed, but that also resulted in him not even participating in the race because the damage on the car was so significant that he was unable to take part in the race because Williams had two cars to fix, bro. Because they had Colapinto's car because he crashed early on in qualifying, and Alex Albon had a significant crash, a significant damage in his car in Q3. That was a very nasty accident, bro. Because he was on a flying lap, and basically the weather took the better out of him. Basically, very nasty.
Absolutely, bro. And thank God he's okay. Thank God he's safe. Thank
Yeah,
God
he
he came
is,
out that unscathed, bro. Thank God.
because the impact was strong, eh?
Very, very strong. Very. But I don't know how he lost control though. It was kind of
No, he was
weird.
he was
Was it under braking?
no, I believe his brakes were completely fogged as soon as he started to as soon as he was starting to
Yeah,
approach the
that's why.
first
That's
turn,
why. That's why.
and
That's why
he
it was
just
pretty weird.
and basically he just kept on he kept on end up into
Yeah.
the barriers, basically. Very unfortunate, bro, because
Very
Albin
no,
was
really.
was on course um in putting himself into the top three with the Williams, basically. So very, very
Absolutely.
unfortunate, and made it even worse that basically compromised his entire weekend, basically, because he
Yeah.
didn't take part in the race.
Yeah.
But but other than that, bro, we finally made it into the end of qualifying
Thank
after
God.
that red flag, and
And
Lando
we got some
Norris.
pretty. Always got some pretty good shocks.
Yeah, and at least that got us some pretty big surprises. Lando got pole position with a 1:23.405, the quickest car on the grid. Once again, that McLaren showing um, that it was the quickest car on the grid. The race was the complete opposite, unfortunately, for that. Um, Now, George Russell was gonna get pole position, but Lando edged him out by just a hundredth of a second. So that demoted George Russell in second. Yuki Tsunoda in third place. That's the
That's
first
crazy.
time. That's the first time we've seen him on the podium spot, whether it is qualifying or in the
Yeah.
race, bro. So that was very, very nice to see. And Yuki was so shocked that as soon as he got himself out of the car, he had no idea where he was gonna end up going, bro, because
Yeah.
he was
He
confused.
wasn't used to it.
He
He's
was
not
because he
used
wasn't
to it,
used
and
to
you
it.
don't
It
blame
was
him. You
no, I
don't
don't
blame
blame
him.
him. No, I don't blame him, bro. And it was very, very beautiful to see, bro, because Yuki
Absolutely.
has
He
potential.
deserves it, man. He deserves it.
Yuki has potential
With that,
to
with what
show
I just
himself,
said,
basically.
with what I just said earlier today
Yeah,
regarding the Franco Colapinto rumor,
yeah,
even
definitely.
furthers my case.
Yeah, definitely. So this was a fantastic day for Yuki to find himself to get himself into the top three. Obviously, the weather played a big part in contributing to that, but third place is fantastic for Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah.
Um, Esteban Ocon in fourth and Liam Lawson in fifth. A very
Fifth. Wow.
unlikely drivers, bro, getting themselves into the top five. Listen, if as much as the rain disrupted this entire weekend, bro, at least the silver lining is that we've seen some unlikely drivers getting themselves
That's the
into the
beauty
top
of
five, top five
that's the
spots, bro.
that's the beauty of having wet weather races.
Yeah,
That's the beauty of
definitely.
it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you get surprises like this all the time. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, definitely,
And
definitely.
we're gonna get even more surprises in the race.
Yeah, the race was something else, bro. With regards to who got themselves into the top five spots, but yeah, bro. Seeing drivers like Esteban Ocon, who's had such a difficult season, and Liam Lawson, who's pretty much a rookie at this point, getting themselves into the top 5 spots is very, very beautiful to see, bro. And they will
And
remember this for a long, long time.
especially Ocon in that Alpine, and Ocon is going to Haas next season.
Yeah.
Especially that.
One last push,
Especially
basically.
practically. And they gave a lot. They gave a really big push.
Definitely.
They gave a really big push, man.
Excuse me. Yeah, definitely. Leclerc in 6, bro. I mean, for him,
The
it's gonna
pace
be.
wasn't there.
Yeah,
The pace wasn't there.
for him, it's gonna be disappointing because if
Yeah.
to find himself behind those 3 drivers, excuse me, to find himself behind those 3 drivers, that's gonna stink for him. But obviously, again, the weather played a big, big part for in that basically. So, yeah, terrible. Um, obviously Alex Albin ended up in the barriers, so from second he he dropped down in 7th, but that obviously as a result he was not going to take part in the race, so unfortunate for him. Oscar Piastri in 8th, bro, disappointed for
Did he
disappointing
have?
for
Did he have?
Piastri.
Did he have a lap time deleted Piastri or?
I don't think so, no, bro, because he was in
All right.
6th. Towards the end, he got his lap time deleted for
All
that,
right. All
but
right.
very disappointing, bro, for him to start. I expected far better,
For
for Oscar in qualifying, especially his considering his pace during the weekend. So 8th
yeah.
place, very disappointing for him. Obviously, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll ended up crashed their cars in Q2 and Q3, so filled up they filled up the top 10 spots basically, bro. So yeah, that's qualifying, bro. Exhausting,
Now,
very exhausting, but at
we're
least
just scratching the surface here.
yeah, we are. So we are. But at least it was a silver lining because we've seen some unlikely drivers getting themselves into those top 10 spots. So that was beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Very exhausting for Lando Norris. Fantastic for him to start on pole position. Especially even Max considering that he had to start the race in 17th place. Now, bro, before we get ourselves into the race, now obviously the race took place a few hours after qualifying. So imagine the drivers finishing from qualifying and then need to prepare themselves for the race. And Hamilton had even and Hamilton didn't had a bit of a lay down as a break, but because
Nah, he didn't have no break, bro, because he
so
had to do the tribute.
yeah, because Hamilton was presented with a once in a lifetime opportunity to drive the 1990 McLaren MP45B, which was driven by the one and only Ayrton Senna. Obviously, Ayrton Senna won his second driver's title with this car, basically. He had the opportunity to do a flying lap around Interlagos with the car, holding the Brazilian flag in front of the Brazilian crowd as well. And Vivian and Vivian Senna, obviously Ayrton's sister, presented Hamilton the opportunity to drive the car of his idol, basically. Bro, this was a beautiful tribute. And it
Absolutely.
was
And
fitting.
no, and
It
no
was
and no one
very
and no one
fitting.
more fitting to do it. No one more appropriate, no one more
Yeah,
fitting to give that tribute, bro.
yeah, and it was fitting as well to honor a legendary driver as Ayrton Senna in his home race, basically, pretty much,
Absolutely, absolutely.
because obviously,
We've seen a Senna tribute and we've seen a Senna-esque performance this weekend, man.
yeah, Senna-esque performance from Verstappen. But just to wrap up very quickly on Senna, bro, before we get into the race, this was a beautiful way to honor
Absolutely.
to honor the 3-time world title. Basically, we know in Brazil Senna is viewed as a god there. Basically,
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
crowd still chants his name to this day. I mean, 30 years after his death. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful tribute, and even Hamilton, understandably, was very emotional, very proud to drive the car of his idol. So fantastic, unbelievable tribute, and it will
How
be remembered basically.
his Senna's death is still being remembered and celebrated till this day,
Yeah, definitely, and it
which
was
shows
so.
how much of a man he
And
is.
also, bro, how beautiful it was to hear the sound of that car again, basically, because
Oh
the sound of those V8 engines, bro.
my
Absolutely.
god, dude.
a wet dream for
Oh
every
my
for every
god.
Formula One for every Formula
Oh
One
my
fan, bro.
god, man.
Gorgeous,
Lovely, absolutely lovely.
lovely.
Better than the
Um,
vacuum cleaners we got now.
yeah, absolutely.
They're
They
not the worst, but there's nothing.
nothing can compare the sound the sound of those the sound of those V8 engines, bro.
Yeah,
They're just a
nothing.
thing of beauty, basically. All right, bro. Let's get into the race. And the drama on this race started even before the lights came out, bro. Because
Yeah.
during the warm up, Lance Stroll somehow, without any pressure whatsoever, he span his car in turn one, I believe, and that basically um, that basically resulted in an abandoned race start, basically, because as soon as he tried himself to make him to put himself back on into the grid, he ended up on the gravel and he was stuck there, and his race was fucked, basically, from there.
That has to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen watching the sport, bro.
Absolutely,
That
absolutely.
has to be. If we already don't like Stroll of what he does and his driving style,
That summed it up.
that puts the cherry on the cake, bro. That has to be one of the dumbest things, bro. Put it in reverse and turn to the right. No, he just turned to the left and straight into the
And
graphic.
I had no, for me, because honestly, I missed this part because I was basically multitasking. I was watching the game. I was watching this one as well. As soon as I saw the replay of it, I was like, bro, what the fuck? You literally, all you had to do was slightly reverse the car, avoid the gravel, and make your way onto the
Listen,
track.
listen,
And he
listen.
just
We
continued.
said, listen. I give him the benefit of the doubt because it's not easy to put the car in reverse
No,
in a
no, no,
F1
no.
car.
Obviously, it isn't easy, but
But it can. But you can do it. You can do it. It can happen. You can put the car in reverse.
yeah,
It is. It is. Sorry, pardon me. It is difficult. It is not easy, but you can do it. It can be done. So why did he do that? I don't know.
I
Poor
had no
words,
idea
bro.
why. And listen. I had no idea why he just
I
kept
don't
him.
know what part.
Why?
I don't know what. I don't know what
Yeah.
part. What, you go. You go.
No, because as you can see, guys, both of
We're
us, are at loss of lost for words at the moment because I still have no idea why this guy just kept on going into the gravel where 99.9% that car was gonna end up was gonna get stuck there. Everyone knew it
how?
was gonna stuck there.
What part of his brain cell thought that that was a good idea?
According to him, it was a good idea. Oh my god!
I don't know what.
I'm seeing the replay right in front of my eyes, bro. I still have no idea why on earth that he just kept on going there. Basically, it was insane, man.
To me that has to be the dumbest moment of the season.
Absolutely. I mean,
Dumbest
we
moment.
might as well just give clown of the day to him, bro.
Yeah, easy. Clown of the day easily to him.
And the race, obviously, the start was abandoned, bro. And I don't know if you saw the start of the grid. There was a
Thanks
lot
to
of
him.
confusion. And there was a lot of confusion at the start of the race, bro, because some drivers ended up and remained at the starting grid. Others just
Yeah,
kept on going. There
and
was
the others
so
went.
much confusion, bro.
Yeah, and the others and a lot of the drivers went. Well, followed Lando Norris as they were doing another formation lap. Was it like that or?
And yeah, and Norris ended up being under investigation, bro, because of infringing the starting procedure, because of all that confusion, because most of that happened because of obviously Lance Stroll. But Lando Norris had a big say on that because as a result of his infringement, he was investigated
Yeah.
after the race. We still have no idea if he's going to be receiving a penalty. It was not just him; it was several other drivers ended up getting the penalty as a result. But bro, drama already before the start of the race, and that just gave us a taste of what was about to happen, basically, bro. Not just the weather,
Absolutely.
but even that was a result, because as a result of that. Now, bro, the start. Um, I'm gonna repeat myself in saying this, bro. Lando Norris had a lot of poor starts this season. Once again, this was yet another poor start. He
No
was
different.
slow. He was slow out of the gates at turn one. Russell did the overtake on him at the very first turn, and that, as a result, he lost the lead of the race, and
That set
George
the
Russell
tone.
was on top. Bro, he just doesn't seem to learn, doesn't he, Lando? Once again,
He
another poor start.
after listen, after this weekend, bro, it shows that Lando Norris is not ready.
No, he isn't. No, absolutely.
He's not ready, bro. He's not ready. We already discussed this. And I did mention not in the last episode, but in the previous, that I don't that two of my uh colleagues that work in another department did say that they see Piastri as more fitting of a champion than Norris.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
This even furthers it, bro. This
Yeah,
furthers it even
absolutely.
more.
Yeah, absolutely. No, obviously Russell took the lead of the race. Perez had a spin towards the end of the first lap that put him that put him at the back of the grid pretty much. But the talk of the town, bro, and during those first couple of laps was Max Verstappen, bro. He obviously decided to race and by lap
Bro,
two, he
he
was
was
already
going,
in 10th place, bro.
bro.
Already.
He went to that grid like a hot knife to butter.
Yeah. And
That was masterful. That was a masterpiece to watch.
yeah, definitely. And it set the tone pretty much, well, because obviously by lap one, by lap two, he was already up to 10th place. If we look at obviously in lap four, Oliver Behrman got a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision
Yeah.
on Franco Colapinto. So
Yep.
unfortunate for him. We did see a couple of overtakes in the middle and the lower portions of the grid. By lap 10, bro, Verstappen got breezed past Oscar Piastri, and he was up to 7th place. At that moment, I said to myself, bro, um, he's up to something, Max.
This is
He
this,
literally is
this
up to
is
something.
this is 2023 Max Verstappen. This is
Yeah,
last season Max Verstappen we're seeing here.
yeah, definitely. And uh, and obviously in rainy conditions, bro, Max is known to be masterful in the rain. And in those early laps, bro, he set the tone on basically on what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um, Hamilton, bro, was having a torrid time at the back of the grid, bro. He couldn't. I mean, he
Uh,
couldn't get himself past Franco Colapinto.
he must have been
Uh,
saying to himself, bro, I'd rather be still driving Senna's McLaren than this.
yeah, definitely.
That's what he
And
probably been saying.
that got the crowd up on their feet, bro, because the crowd was chanting Franco's name, chanting Franco's name when he got past Hamilton, and that was embarrassing, bro. I mean, literally, a seven-time world champion, a rookie overtaking a seven-time world champion, and that world champion just couldn't get past him. There was a turn one incident between Hamilton and Liam Lawson. It was investigated, and that pissed off Liam Lawson massively. Um, by lap 25 and 26, bro, the rain was out in full fucking force, man. I mean, obviously the rain
Yeah,
affected
again.
qualifying, and it affected, and to no surprise, it affected the race. By lap 27, bro, the rain was so bad that Hulkenberg ended up spinning on at turn one once again. That turn one, bro, an Achilles heel for a lot
The,
of drivers, bro.
it's it's been a kryptonite for them this
Yeah,
weekend.
definitely,
It's been a
definitely,
kryptonite.
definitely. On lap 28, the virtual safety car was out, bro, because the rain was pissing down big time. It
Yeah.
was almost undrivable. But talking about your team, bro, Leclerc got himself into the pits far too early, and
Yeah.
that pretty much compromised his race. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that is a strategic decision from the team, and not from Leclerc. So they messed it up badly once again. I mean, this is
And
basically
listen,
been all over again.
and the team that put a gamble, Alpine, bro, they gambled.
Yeah, massively.
And what a gamble turned out to be, man.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah,
that
but for Leclerc, yeah, it was bad luck, man. I
bad
mean,
luck. Yeah, absolutely.
it is what it is.
Um, Now obviously the virtual safety car, many drivers took that advantage and made the pit stop, but Lando Norris and George Russell um got their calls terribly wrong because as soon as the virtual safety car ended, they ended up making their pit stop. That resulted in Ocon taking the lead of the race. and even Verstappen getting himself into second place because obviously Max made the early pit stop, made the early switch to intermediates. A few laps later, the safety car was deployed because Williams once again had another incident with their car, and that was Franco Colapinto. He had another horrible, another big
Yeah,
with that car, and that resulted in the race being red flagged for for a good hour, basically, bro.
yeah,
Again, unfortunate for Williams. They had terrible luck this weekend. The weather absolutely affected them throughout the weekend. But for Hamilton, for George Russell and Lando Norris, they got their timing of the pit stops terribly wrong, bro, and that
absolutely, man.
pretty much set the tone for the rest of the race. Your thoughts on this?
Verstappen was licking his lips.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Esteban Ocon as well. Obviously, he did
Absolutely.
he
Listen,
did
Alpine took a gamble
disastrous.
and it paid off massively.
Yeah, absolutely.
They,
Now
they,
the
they took a gamble.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the race was suspended for I think it was an hour, I believe, bro, and the race was restarted on lap 33 via a rolling start, and the restart of the race um we saw a big moment, bro, at the restart of the race because this for me is where the title was
Yeah,
decided on
yeah.
on this lap because Lando Norris
When
had
no,
yet another awful start
no,
and got
yeah,
himself off the track.
and Norris off the track, and the same moment Verstappen overtook Ocon for the lead.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, Ocon stood no chance, bro. Sorry.
Oh, my computer froze. Sorry. What
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was saying
absolutely.
was, in the same corner that Norris went off,
Yeah.
Verstappen overtook Ocon for the lead.
Yeah, I was speaking of Esteban Ocon, bro. Listen, this an Alpine stood no chance of on that Red
Absolutely.
Bull. It
He
was
didn't even
bound to
fight it.
happen.
He didn't even fight it, bro. And for Alpine, listen, they were like, this is not our fight. This is not
No,
our fight. We're
no.
blessed to be here. We're blessed to be here. We're gonna let them through.
Yeah, absolutely. But for Lando Norris, bro, yet again, just doesn't not learning from his mistakes,
I think
and
that
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 for
that,
me,
that practically could be the nail in the coffin.
yeah, that for me puts one hand on the trophy pretty much. Now Oliver Behrman had a spin on lap 39, which resulted in him out of the grid. That for the race. One
Yep.
driver that was lucky, bro, was Carlos Sainz on lap 42. It was the same turn,
Crashing again,
um,
bro. Crashing
crashing on the same
again.
turn in qualifying, and that put him out of the race. Unfortunate for
Yeah.
him, bro. From hero to zero,
Absolutely,
pretty
man.
much.
Yeah, practically, man. It was it is what it is. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
a bit
Once
of
I saw it, I was like, I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
listen, I was surprised he could have. I was surprised that he started the race,
Yeah, definitely.
but I
Uh,
wanted just to go out again.
Guys, a bit of a small mistake. It wasn't on lap 34 that that Verstappen did the overtake on Ocon and Lando had that incident. It was on lap 43. It was right after. It was right after Sainz's incident that deployed the safety car as a result. So that happened, and then after that, bro, it was a procession pretty much. From the rest of the
Absolutely. So that's where the drama ended. Verstappen blitzed Ocon by
No,
19
he took
seconds,
off. He took off pretty much, bro.
and that practically just settled it. That practically settled it. Verstappen with a masterclass of a drive. He's
Yeah,
still shown that he's still the driver to beat, and in practically the third best car
it
as
wasn't.
from these last two races. He's still shown that he's still the person to beat, the driver to beat. Not just by starting from 17th to first in the rain, bro.
And listen,
In
bro.
my opinion,
Yeah,
one of, if not the best drive I have ever seen.
I think this is his best performance, bro.
Absolutely.
Because listen, as soon
This beats
from
his 2016 performance in
yeah,
Interlagos.
definitely, I agree,
This
I
beats it.
agree. Uh, and listen, as soon as Verstappen got himself into the top 10 straight away on lap two, I said to myself, this guy's about to pull off a madness, bro, because
Yeah, and he did.
he literally Obviously, this he had Max ended up winning the race. This was his first win since Spain, and questions were asked about Max throughout the second half of this entire
So many
season,
doubts.
bro. So
So
many
many.
doubts, so many
So many
doubts.
haters. So
Yeah,
many critics. Is Verstappen gonna
yeah,
blunder? Is Red Bull gonna blunder? Bro, he
yeah,
shut them
yeah.
all
He
up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He shut everyone up and he was back with
The
some
British media,
fucking
bro,
vengeance, bro.
apart from Sky, the British media was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, he shut
Even
everyone up, bro.
even on commentary, you could hear them. They didn't want Verstappen to win. They wanted Norris to win because Norris now
Yeah,
is their new golden boy.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna get to Lando very, very soon. But with Max, bro, he is back with a fucking vengeance. I mean, literally a flawless performance from him to win a race from almost at the back of a dead last at 17th place to win
In
the
those conditions,
to win the race in such awful weather conditions in the pissing rain to set
that was
yeah
a performance that even Ayrton Senna would be proud
yeah
of.
FSL would be proud of as well to win a race by over 20 seconds if I'm not mistaken
19.
in the pissing rain to set 17 fastest laps and to literally make not a single mistake in the rain and to make those strategies spot
And
on,
even the calls
flawless.
from Red Bull, even the calls from Red Bull, that is 2023 Red Bull right there.
No, but this was Max's doing, bro. Pretty much. I mean, because he
Absolutely.
was absolutely flawless out there in the ride. This for me, this is his best performance that he has ever driven throughout his entire career, and it's also one of the all-time great
And to pro-
performances in the
and
sport.
to prove that he's still championship, that he's still a drivers world champion material, this is what he had to do, and he
Yeah,
did it.
absolutely. He made a
There are great
statement.
drivers. There's great drivers on this grid: Leclerc, Sainz,
Yeah,
Norris, Piastri, Hamilton. I mean, Hamilton is a legend in my opinion.
yeah, he is.
Russell, great drivers. These are them. Over here is Verstappen.
And Hamilton as well, bro. You have to put
Hamilton,
in.
yeah. Hamilton, yeah. Hamilton is a legend. But
Yeah,
for me, Hamilton, even though he's going to Ferrari next year, to
yeah,
me, he still has nothing left to prove.
yeah, yeah. But Max, bro.
And even Max, but Max Verstappen is in another league.
Listen. I said last week that I criticized Max last week that he is a very dangerous driver, but at the same time, it's why he's great, bro. He's a no
Yeah,
nonsense. He's ruthless,
he's
and
aggressive.
with
Something,
aggressiveness. Yeah,
something
sorry,
which Norris doesn't have.
absolutely. And
Norris
because,
doesn't
bro,
have that.
with high risk, you will get high reward, and that is Max Verstappen for you.
It doesn't always pay off, but when it pays off, it's worth it.
He made a statement, bro. Listen, Max made a big statement. He has
Hats
shut
off, bro.
hats off. He has shut
He shut
everyone
off the
up,
whole.
and that for me, he has one hand on the title, bro. Because I just
Absolutely.
I cannot see Lando recover from this. Basically, from making a late run for the driver's title. He has that.
Especially with the comments he made. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in
We'll
a
get to
bit.
that.
I would like to speak on
Yeah,
Alpine, bro.
Alpine, bro, second and third, unbelievable,
From where?
unbelievable,
From
bro.
where? From ninth, eighth to sixth in the constructors.
From 96, bro. That's
30,
35 points they got there.
35 points and 50 million in the bank, bro.
They
That's crazy.
saved their season, bro.
They saved it. From having one of the most awful liveries to the
And the
most
car, even the car is
prettiest.
awful, bro.
The car is awful, is rubbish. Ocon having a mare in Monaco on Gasly. Ocon leaving the team. This is the
The rivalry between him and Gasly as well.
absolutely, bro. Nothing could go. The controversial decisions off the
Yeah.
track. This is Christmas for them.
A madness, bro.
This is
They
Christmas.
literally did a madness out there.
They took a gamble and it worked. That's the beauty of the rain.
The
That's the
weather,
beauty of
yeah,
constructors.
that's the beauty of the rain, bro. Because obviously the weather played a big part in them getting themselves into the top three places. But bro, I'm speaking on Esteban Ocon. He absolutely got his strategy on the fucking bullseye, bro. Because
Yeah.
even the pit stop was at the right moment. He got the best out of his tires. He did his best to overcome overcome the drivers behind him. Obviously, listen, he stood no chance with Max and that Rebel because Max was on fucking steroids throughout this weekend. But second and third was perfect for Alpine to get themselves into the top three. I mean, no one. I mean, listen, bro. No one predicted Alpine to get into the top 10 to get into the top 10, let alone in both cars in the podium places. Obviously, post race the celebrations were wide and understandably so. Um, just unbelievable for Alpine. They are, listen, I think Verstappen is driver of the day, but Alpine are the winners of this entire weekend. No question
Yeah.
about it, bro.
Yeah,
35
absolutely.
points. 35 points. That has shot them into sixth place now. Considering their rivals not even getting them little points, that has saved their season, bro.
Absolutely.
T- t- I know that sounds absolutely wild because they have such a poor season, but this has been a lifesaver for them, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
Ocon in the rain. This is the first time we have seen Ocon perform brilliantly in the rain. For Gasly, it's another podium finish for him. This is not his first podium for him. I believe this is his first podium with Alpine as well. I think so. Brilliant stuff, bro. Brilliant
Yeah,
stuff for
absolutely.
Alpine.
Hats off to Alpine, man. Hats off.
Hats
Hats
off,
off to them.
hats off. Yeah. George Russell in fourth. He would be a little bit gutted for him that he found himself in that he finished in fourth and not in the top two and not in the top three. But yeah, fourth place to finish behind the Alpines, disappointing for him.
Yeah, he
Um,
tried to give one last push
yeah,
at Gasly at the
definitely,
end, but it wasn't enough.
definitely. Bro, Leclerc in fifth. Bad day in the office, bro. Considering your last two Grand Prix
Yeah,
both
man.
ends up in the top, winning the races. Bad day in the office for your team, bro.
It is what it is. It is
Yeah,
what it is. I come to expect these, bro. Listen, I knew we were gonna make a proper challenge. I knew if we finish second in the constructors, even just behind McLaren, I'll take it, bro.
yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, but your weekend, the race overall, it just didn't.
The pace wasn't there. The
Not
pace
just
wasn't there.
not just the pace wasn't there, bro. Obviously, Sainz retired from the race. The Leclerc, his Leclerc's pit stop was far too early as well. So,
I think he did the best
um,
he could. He did the
bad day in
best he
the
could, in my
office.
opinion.
Bad day in the
Yeah.
office for Ferrari as well. Bro, McLaren. I have to speak about McLaren, bro. Lando Norris in sixth, Oscar Piastri in eighth, and Yuki
Hey,
Tsunoda
hey,
sandwiched
bro,
between
bro,
them
bro,
in
bro,
seventh.
bro. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Thank you for that, bro. Um, in the famous words of Tottenham Hotspur, we bottled it. We bottled it, guys. Absolutely bottled it, bro. How the fuck? We were the fastest car on the grid for the entire weekend. We were the fastest car in the practice. We were the fastest in the sprint qualifying and in the sprint race. We were the fastest in qualifying. And we go and do that in the race. I mean, I speak on Lando Norris. This guy isn't ready to isn't world championship material. He has shown it time and time again that his starts have been absolutely piss poor. Fair enough, he has won a couple of races, and I've applauded him. And that he has made huge steps this season. He has won a lot of he has won a decent amount of races. He has got himself into the top three places time and time and time again. He has made big grounds this season. He has made a big jump this season, Lando Norris. But he still has a long way to go to become a world title. Number one,
He made big. It's like one step forward, two steps back.
yeah. Number one, his race starts have been poor consistently, and he has not learned from his mistakes. Number two, his strategies, he hasn't got the strategies spot on. His pit stop strategies and his race tire strategies have been inconsistent. Again, he has won his fair share of races, and I praise him for that, and thank God for him that he has got him that he has gave us his race wins. However, his post race comments for me summed it all up. He was a bad loser, bro. He has
Nah,
been
man.
very
Nah,
salty.
nah, 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 nah.
That for
That
me
was
was way off. That for me was way off, bro.
Unreal to say that. Unreal to say that.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he said that. In my opinion, I like him, but he lost some respect from me, man. That's not nice to say. How is that luck? Bro, McLaren had most of the luck this weekend.
Yeah,
How could he say
absolutely.
that? How could he say that? How dare him to say that? McLaren were more lucky than Red Bull by a country mile. Verstappen,
Definitely.
everything was against him and he still prevailed.
That showed how great he was as well.
Norris had
Absolutely.
everything handed to him on a silver platter and he fumbled it.
He fumbled it throughout the race, bro. He fumbled it from the start. He fumbled in his pit stop
Unbelievable he's
strategy,
done that.
and
Unbelievable.
the restart after Sainz's crash that resulted in another safety car. That for me was an absolute shocker for him. I mean, not only he was slow out of the gates in turn one, but he just lost control of his car and just went off the track completely.
Nah.
How can you tell me from that he's
In the
gonna
same
that he's gonna
corner,
win the world title?
in the same corner that he went off, Verstappen overtook Ocon for the lead.
Yeah,
How poetic. How
yeah,
poetic.
written in the fucking stars, bro. You're written in the stars. And listen, a lot of people really legitimately thought that Lando was gonna make a push on Max Verstappen to win the world title. I was seeing none of that, bro. There was no way that he was gonna make a remarkable recovery to get himself into the title, because I was having the same conversation with
The
one of my
push
buddies who was also a
the
McLaren
push was
supporter a
there.
few
The
days
push
ago.
was there. The push was there.
But
The
he
push
needs,
was there.
yeah,
But as soon as
absolutely.
the mind games on track started, he lost it.
He fumbles, man.
As
And
soon
listen,
as Verstappen was giving him the squeezes, pause, the squeezes and the mind games on track,
yeah,
he fumbled.
but listen,
He
but
caved in.
yeah, and this is the same conversation I've had with one of my friends who's a McLaren supporter as well. Shout out to Andrew, by the way, if he's listening to this episode.
Shout out.
Um, but I told him that Lando isn't ready to become a world title because he still lacks maturity on the grid, and this weekend showed it. I mean, how can you go up from a top in qualifying and the sprint race to just the lowest of lows in
Could be because of
sixth place?
could be down to conditions and race strategy, bro.
Listen, the conditions played a part as well, but
Because the pace was there. The
yeah,
pace was there.
we were the quickest car on the grid all weekend, bro, and it showed. We were the
Uh,
quickest
that's
car
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
grid.
So it
No
could be down to
biases.
it could be down to conditions. It
Yeah,
could be down to race strategy.
yeah,
But Norris's mistake proved costly as well.
yeah. And that for me, that's the driver's title done and dusted, bro. Our only hope now is the constructors, because now we've also taken a hit in the constructors title, because not only Max won the race, but also Lando is under investigation. I have no idea if he's going to receive a time penalty or a points deduction for the next race. So that
Yeah,
could be even worse.
I don't know how he get it. That's why I wanted to say I don't know how he didn't get a penalty.
It's not just.
Because if Verstappen would have done the same, he would have been had a penalty. He would have been had a penalty, bro. So I don't know
Mhm.
how.
I just basically I just found out, bro. He received a fine, and not a point deduction. So
All
at
right.
least, it's not as bad as I hoped it was.
And
But
speaking of luck, bro, and he dares to call Max Verstappen lucky?
no, that was way
Nah,
off. That was way off,
nah,
bro.
nah.
Way off. Way off. Way off. Um, but even Oscar Piastri was underwhelming, bro, this weekend. I also expected him to perform far better than eighth place, but he struggled all race. Just couldn't get himself past Yuki Tsunoda and one of the racing bulls as well. And this was a disastrous weekend for McLaren, bro.
Yeah,
A complete disaster, literally, because Red Bull obviously winning the race, Norris's main rival winning the race and pulling off a master pass of a performance, and him only managing sixth and Piastri in eighth. Yes, a few points in the constructors standings, but a horrible weekend for us, man. Let's hope we pick up the pace for Las Vegas, because the pressure now is on. The last 3 races of the season.
listen. Vegas could prove to be one last roll of the dice, and how fitting.
Yeah, how fitting,
How
absolutely.
fitting, man. How fitting.
Um, sandwich in between of those two McLarens, bro, Yuki Tsunoda. Now, obviously, disappointing for him
Yeah,
because he started the race in third and he only managed himself in seventh. But listen, points in the back for him, and even Liam Lawson, bro, in ninth place. So both racing bulls in the top 10. This is a weekend to remember for them. A few points in the back
absolutely.
for them. Obviously, it sucks for them that Alpine have got big points in the bag, but at least both drivers getting themselves into the top 10 spots and with a few points in the bag. And Hamilton, regard despite despite
He still
that last
somehow gets a point finish.
despite everything going against him and struggling behind Franco Colapinto in the racing points as well, at least he ended up getting the final point of the race. So at least
Somehow.
that's himself. That's him in 10th place. Bro, driver of the day, Max Verstappen for me.
No doubt.
Absolutely
No
no
doubt.
question
No
about
debate.
it.
No debate.
No question about it. Yeah,
No debate.
the only drivers I can think of is either Esteban Ocon or Pierre Gasly, but Max
Now
Verstappen
Verstappen
easily,
to go from 17th to P1 in those conditions.
yeah, but
Absolutely.
easily, no, easily.
That's a performance that even Senna himself would be proud
Yeah,
of.
yeah, no debates on driver of the day. Max Verstappen, he also got the fastest lap of the race,
And
fully
Max
deserved.
Verstappen, with this performance, after this performance, he has gained a lot of respect,
Yeah, I
especially from the
agree,
non-Red Bull fans and the
I
non-Max
agree,
Verstappen
I
fans,
agree, I agree.
because he shut everyone up, and he needed this, and he shut up a lot of fans, and he gained a lot of new
A
respect.
state, it's a
Yeah,
statement. It's a statement for
he gained a
Max.
lot of respect.
So yeah, absolutely. Max Verstappen driver of the day, but I had to give a shout out to Alpine, bro, because they
Yeah,
are,
absolutely.
in terms
Winners of the
of
day.
teams, they are the winners of this
Yeah,
weekend without
they're the
shadow of the
winners of the
doubt.
winners.
The
Absolutely.
loser is Lando Norris.
No debate.
I'm sorry, Lando Norris for me is my loser of the day. How can you pull? How can you say those comments? How can you finish in sixth place? That's number one, and you contending for the driver's title. And number two, how dare you say those comments after the race? And you mentioned
Just
that.
those, just that comment
That
alone,
for
bro.
me, that for me, sums up for loser of the day. Um, Dick of the day, bro. Who are we gonna pick?
Lando Norris as well.
Lando Norris as well. Yeah, I agree on that. And Lance Stroll is our clown of the
Oh,
day.
easy. Oh my
Easy,
god. That has to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
absolutely. I still can't believe that happened, bro. I
I...
honestly can't believe. I honestly can't believe that happened. But
I
anyways, finally, we're at the end of this episode, guys. That
was
was
about
a
to sneeze.
yeah,
Oh, bro.
yeah.
I was about to sneeze.
I've had a fair share of those during this episode as well, so at least not alone on that. But yeah, finally, guys, we are at the end of this
Ah,
episode. We're gonna
my god.
obviously we will look at the standings. Verstappen now that pretty much is game over. He if nothing else, if nothing,
Listen, mathematically, it's still possible.
but it's very
It's still
difficult, bro.
possible. Mathematically, it's still possible. One last roll at the dice. I mean, what's next? Vegas, then
Las Vegas,
Qatar. Vegas,
no,
Qatar, and then Abu Dhabi. No,
yeah, absolutely.
Vegas, Qatar.
I
Yeah.
believe those. Yeah.
Listen, Verstappen wins in Vegas. It's a wrap then.
No, for me it's the inevitable, bro. I think for me now it's not a matter of if but when. For me
Yeah.
that for me I've seen enough. I think I've seen enough at this point.
And listen,
If
after that performance, he deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves that. Absolutely deserves it. So obviously, if nothing miraculous happens, Verstappen will clinch his fourth world title come Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time. So he stays on top with 393 points. He now has a 65-point advantage now over Lando Norris, who remains in second with 331 points. Leclerc in third, Charles Leclerc in third with 307 points. Oscar Piastri remains in fourth with 262 points. Carlos Sainz in fifth with 244 points. The two Mercedes of George Russell and Lewis Hamilton in sixth and seventh with 192 and 190 points. Sergio Perez remains in eighth with 151 points. Fernando Alonso in ninth with 62 points, and Nico Hülkenberg in 10th with 31 points. Bro, I forgot to mention as well, Sergio Perez had a shit weekend as well.
Absolutely.
Once
Well,
again,
nothing new. Nothing
nothing
new.
nothing new with that
So,
again.
as much as it isn't new, we didn't even mention him.
Yeah, because at this point we're just tired of talking about
Uh,
Sergio Perez. So anyhow,
and we love Paris, but it is what it is.
yeah. Obviously now the constructors title, bro, it's looking even more spicier now because the
Yeah.
gap between McLaren and Ferrari now it's just over 30 points. with 593 points and 557 points. Listen, for me, I still think McLaren can push themselves over the line for the constructors title, but it's not over yet. There's still three
Yeah,
more races
absolutely.
left, so anything can happen. McLaren with 593 points, Ferrari with 557 points, Red Bull with that win are they remain in third with 544 points, but the gap between them and Ferrari now is just 13 points. So it's looking very very spicy up there. Mercedes in fourth with 382 points, and probably they're going to remain in fourth place. I just can't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
Aston
yeah.
Martin getting the better out of them.
Nah, nah.
Aston Martin remain in fifth with 86 points. Alpine are now in sixth place with that double podium with
What a
49
jump,
points.
bro.
A big jump for them. That's 50 million in the bank as well for them. So unbelievable result for them. Obviously, Haas dropped to seventh with 46 points. They had a poor weekend as well. Both drivers out of the points. Racing Bulls in eighth with 44 points. Williams in ninth with 17 points. That's gonna stink for them as well. They had terrible luck all weekend. And Sauber remained scoreless with 0 points. Bro, that bet is still on
It's
hold,
still
and it
on.
looks like it's gonna remain on hold.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. All right, guys, that is it. That is the end of this episode.
That was
We
so
finally reached
long,
the
man.
end. Yes. Obviously, we had a lot to talk about today, bro. So,
Yeet.
absolutely, we got to
Yeet.
the end of it. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Make sure to follow us on our socials. Our next episode is obviously in 2 weeks' time, where we head into Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, baby! Glamour,
Wait,
rolling
what?
the
Listen,
dice, and there
yeah,
we go.
one last roll of the dice for McLaren.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Norris especially. Just one
Norris, not
last
not
roll of the dice.
for
Norris.
Norris. Yeah, definitely,
One last roll of the dice for Norris. Has to be.
absolutely. And let's hope we have another dramatic race come Vegas that weekend. Thanks so
Let's
much,
go.
guys. Hope you have a great week. And as always, we'll see you for the next one. Peace.
Thank you and good night, guys.
Peace.